constantly changing world, it is crucial that students right from the very beginning are trained with a global perspective so that they get accustomed to a frame of mind and get themselves ready for the future. Hence, it is important that schools and education systems design the curricula in cognizance of the global needs. To talk about the Indian education system in the global perspective and the new developments in the education sector, we have with us an educationist who is an expert in strategic planning and management in teaching and tutoring. She is a dynamic educator with an impeccable record of executing strategies and implementing missions in governing educational institutions. In her 25 years of experience in the education domain, she has served numerous institutes nationally and internationally as their school head. Ma'am also holds a PhD in education for her exemplary work with students and school. She has been recognized and awarded by various respectable educational organizations. With this, I would like to welcome Dr. Kavita Khullar, Principal Consultant, the Cambridge School, Doha, Qatar. We welcome you, ma'am, to Campus Care EdTalks.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here, and it's an honor being invited for such a talk. Though we have been having these meetings on and off with the pandemic working in, but then it's always a special thing when we share our views and we're able to reach the our viewers and touch their lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. So, ma'am, to our viewers, would you please explain the idea of global education?
Well, Kavleen, the viewers, I would say, when we talk about global education, the first thing we should visualize, which comes to our mind is a global citizen, having a global perspective, able to resolve global challenges, and become a proactive contributor to a more peaceful, tolerant, and secure world. So it's like, for example, if I would like to simplify it, I would say it is a national use and an international use. The difference is wherein we are related to, we are constrained to, you could say, a nation, and then we are now related to the world. When we talk about global citizen, it is a citizen who is able to create a world which is peaceful and tolerant. So the importance of global education, it helps to make a child bloom wherever he's planted. And that's very important. That's the basic aim of education, to see that the child blooms wherever he gets planted. And if we are able to achieve that, I think we are moving in the right direction. So global education is related to a global citizen.
The person who can contribute globally. I
Yes,
completely agree to you, ma'am. I completely agree. So, ma'am, as you were explaining the various attributes of global education, you said where we contribute to the world, where we can bloom anywhere we are planted. So,
true.
can you explain to us why is there an urgent need to streamline our education system with the global perspective? Why is there a need right now?
With the pandemic walking in, there have been drastic changes in the paradigm, and the digital technology also walking in due to the pandemic. The global perspective gains importance as it helps us to open to new ideas. We are able to see new ideas, issues, and find better solutions. So a change is brought about, and that's a very positive change. Here, when I talk about change, I'm talking about change which comes in technology, which comes in our curriculum, which comes in our methodology. I'm not talking about change in our values. We maintain our values. We are rooted to our culture, but then we are able to reach and achieve better things in life.
So that is why you think we have to streamline our education system with the global perspective.
Yes,
I agree. So, ma'am, the Indian education system is really vast in its own way. Our system has a number. We have to hold on to our values. We have to see the history, etc. So, where do you think lies the biggest challenge to hold on to our values and to act as a global citizen or include the global curriculum as well? So, where is the biggest challenge in the Indian education system?
Well, the Indian education system needs to work on creating a very strong foundation. You can build up a beautiful, you could say, a building only when you have a strong foundation. That's the normal norm. Likewise, in the field of education too, the foundation years, the primary years, they're very crucial for a child. So that's where Indian education system needs to work on. And I very strongly believe that it is the duty of each and every educator, a passionate educator, I would say, to see to it that before we get ready to hand over a pen to a child, that means as long as he's writing with a pencil and he's able to erase his mistakes, a child is given the right to commit mistakes, but then correction is an equal part of it, wherein he needs a mentor, a good teacher. And if he gets that, and he is able to correct all his mistakes as long as he's writing with a pencil, that is, before he takes a pen,
Then
he
only.
will be able to make a difference. By the time he's ready to hold a pen, he'll limit his mistakes. He'll have limited correction work to be done. Till that time, till he holds a pencil, it is our duty to see that we give him the right to make all the mistakes and we correct his mistakes patiently. So he needs a very understanding, supportive environment
It is
so
very
that he
true.
can bloom and grow, and give the best to the society and become a global citizen.
You have said this so beautifully that whenever, until when he's holding a pencil and he can erase the mistakes, we should guide him and nurture him to become a global citizen. I'm extremely with you. So, as we are talking about the skills, as you said, we have to guide him and implant the skills in the beginning only. So, we talk about the skills and competence. The recently released national education policy has changed and it has changed a lot of things. So, what is your point of view over it? How do you see it?
Well, it's a much awaited positive move, much awaited. We've been waiting for long to see this positive change being inculcated or implemented, and finally it is drafted. So it's a very nice positive change. I look forward to the implementation part because that's where we need to prove ourselves that what we have drafted, we are able to achieve. And that is, you're able to achieve things only when you implement it.
I
The net result will be visible. And I am hopeful that things will turn out in a very nice manner as it's now in discussion and all the educationists are part and parcel of it, and that's very, very important. So it's not just constrained to a limited area, it's globally talked about now.
Yes, ma'am. It is.
So, and that's very important. And it's a spark of radiant light. So I'm very hopeful.
Yes, ma'am, it is a plan that I hope we follow, we implement it as you say. We are also very hopeful for the future.
Yeah.
So, when we speak about education and making the students ready for the future, we
Mhm.
often miss out on early child education. So, how to design a strong curriculum for them? So, as you said, we have to nurture the child from the beginning. So,
Yeah.
what do you think should the steps be of creating a strong curriculum for early education?
Well, I'm glad, and because I've been monitoring the ECA activities of Early Childhood Association in India, they're doing very well. It's a commendable job. They have reached the masses and the training of teachers because we need well trained teachers, to achieve the goal of having supportive and you could say caring teachers. That's much needed in early years, till the primary years. A child needs that. Basically, he is at home. He needs to be at home when he's away from home. So it is the ECA has drafted and it is working well. I appreciate that and I wish to be part of it and I wish that it continues to draft new things and good things and it reaches out to the masses, that is all the teachers and the heads. They are able to just take those drafted rules and the best part is the Early Childhood Association in India. It has been able to even reach internationally. They've been able to impress people internationally. The best part of getting global education and being globalized, it is getting the right to walk into and design and frame rules. We are able to get that authority, and that's very important. And that's what we have achieved. In fact, I'm really happy about that. We have found a place internationally where our educators are able to now, share their designed curriculum, their design concepts. Initially, we used to get from the international educators, but now we are equal, part and parcel. Equally, we are appreciated. And that's a very nice thing.
Yes, ma'am.
You feel proud. You feel proud.
Yes, ma'am, we do feel
Yeah,
proud. The
yeah,
world has
yeah.
become very small. It is
Yes,
just a click away.
yes,
And I'm glad that we are a part of the educators and the leaders that can share
yes,
this kind of curriculum with each other.
yes.
Yes,
We are
ma'am.
taking the best practices. We are sharing our best practices. We are being appreciated. We were not talked about. We were not in the international education market before, but now we are. And we stand strong, very strong.
I completely agree with this,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yes,
So we
ma'am.
will be definitely getting better.
There is
once
always
you get
room for
once you
improvement.
get into a system and you have found a place, a place of authority, you get the authority to design and frame rules. Yes,
Yes, ma'am. There is
that's a
always,
proud
yes,
moment. That's
that's
a
a,
proud moment.
I agree with you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing these words with us. Ma'am, so the COVID 19, as you all are actually a part of the COVID 19 right now, it
Mm.
has widened the cracks that were in the system. One of them was the abstaining from EdTech. However, that's history now. So, how can technology be used in the internationalization of education? We are all up to the technology. So, how can we use it for more?
Well, it is due to technology that I'm able to reach you and reach my viewers, right?
Yes,
So that's a very positive sign. So just like a coin has two sides, the head and the tail.
yes,
Likewise, the edtech, it also has both the sides, using it and misusing it. If you use it properly, wisely, you will be able to achieve a lot. So we need to just wisely use the thing, create a balance. It just reminds me of a very popular fruit, the apple. It says it keeps the doctor away. One apple a day keeps the doctor away,
yes,
right? But when you are able to consume in excess, you cross certain limits, the same apple will ask for a doctor,
yes, yes,
right? So technology is something which is actually a boon. The only thing we as human beings need to use it wisely. And I'm repeating that. If we use it wisely and use it, it is the best thing which we have been gifted with. We have so many we're gifted with so many good things. But then when we misuse it, who's responsible for that? Not the technology. The technology doesn't work on its own. It is manually, monitored by us. It's for me to decide how to use it wisely and for my benefit.
yes,
I think
ma'am.
that's what I would like to talk
Yes, ma'am.
about.
So
Technology now.
we actually need to educate the students also that they do not misuse this technology that is
Yes,
given to them, gifted to them. We
yes,
should need to tell the students also.
yes.
So, ma'am, so today global collaboration is necessary to stay updated and give the kids new things to learn every time. So, what are the best practices that you adopt for this collaboration?
Collaboration, if I would term it, I would call it partnering, you know, creating a partnership. That partnership could be with schools or it could be a partnership in the classroom itself. So, collaboration or partnership is creating teamwork. We are able to achieve a lot when we get together and get the best ideas. When they're collectively pulled up, you find that you are able to achieve better. So as long as we do good things, immaterial of who takes the credit, let's keep away the person who takes the credit. Let's not talk about it.
That is
We just
not.
keep it aside and just work on, achieving what we wish to. I think we're going to achieve a lot. And we have
Basically,
achieved.
yes.
So the same social media, which initially, there was a time when we were talking about how it was affecting our kids, and we are using it now for a better purpose, for the field of education. We are able to reach so many students. The same Facebook is now being used in a positive manner, in a useful manner, I would say. So digital collaboration is something which has joined in. We are able to digitally collaborate through social medias. Then we have professional learning network systems which have been raised up, which are connecting and are being used for learning. So this professional learning network, which we call it as PLN, is quite effective and useful. The social media, again, as I'm repeating, and then the writing, the right thing. Now we have the blogs coming up wherein a child gets an opportunity to express his views and get appreciated for that.
Yes.
So the yes, so the things which were initially uh, a child was restricted or was not able to go for it at that age, now he's able to do it at an early age. So his writing skills are, seen, and we get an opportunity to work on it at the right time. It's like saying a child, if a child is saying in the playground, he's practicing something, and a coach is able to see that he's got that inbuilt gift, he's gifted with that. So he'll be able to harness that and he'll have enough time to polish the child. So the skills which a child has, and if he wishes to express, and he can put it on the social media and get appreciation and get noticed.
So that
So that's
basically,
how we are able to achieve that. Yeah.
yes, ma'am. So basically, you're saying that collaboration is partnership where both the partners benefit each other towards the
Yes.
goal. I completely
Yes.
agree, ma'am. I completely agree. So, ma'am, before closing the webinar, we live in an interconnected global world. With our values, we are globally also out there. So, there are a lot of opportunities everywhere. So, in this context, what would your suggestion be to the students?
Well, being an educator for quite a long, nice time, the only thing I could say, tagline, whenever I meet my students, I always tell them when I look at my students, that's one thing which I always have imbibed. It isn't scripted within me now. That is, when I look at my students, I see unlimited possibilities. That's what I find. And I strongly believe in. And now, when one talks about, these unlimited, uh, if I'm not mistaken, opportunities, right? So when one's platter is decorated with opportunities, the next important thing which he or she, the student has to take care of is to make the right choice or choosing the right thing. Here again, I would advise my students, that they should always remember that they are gifted with something very special by Almighty. Almighty has gifted each child with something very, very special. If he remembers that, all he has to do is, for some children, it is reflected at an early age. For some students, it takes little extra time. It comes at a later part of his phase of life, but it is there. So before choosing the stream which he wishes or the path he wishes to take, he should always consult his peers because they're the ones who are always watching over him, his mentors and his parents. And finally, he should go in for self analysis. Never take a step before self analysis. People talk 10 things, but then finally, what you think about yourself is very important. Your decision does count. So you have to analyze, go for self analysis, and then choose a path, you know, which ignites your passion and where you're confident that you will excel. These two things are very important. So I would advise my students first thing is to strongly believe that there's a spark, and that spark is either noticed by their peers or their mentors or their parents. So consulting them is very important. You need to consult, and then you need to go for self-analysis. And finally, your self-analysis should be based whether that path or the stream which where they wish to take finally go for, because that's going to make them successful in life. And each one wishes to be successful, right? So he should have he should choose a path which ignites his passion and where he's very confident that he's going to excel, because the magical word is excellence, perfection. Where you have it, go for it. Don't doubt yourself. I think
Very,
that's
very wise
the
words, ma'am. Very
message.
wise words. I hope our viewers have learned a lot from this, because actually self analysis is something which we are missing right now. We tend to follow a path that others lay down for us. And
Yes,
I completely agree with you that we have to choose. There is our choice which counts and makes,
yes,
and we have to go towards excellence. Thank you so
yes,
much, ma'am.
because you're very unique, very different, very special.
Ma'am.
Always remember that.
Thank you so
And
much,
I
ma'am. Thank
wish my students do well wherever they're placed in life. God bless them all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for your wise words. I think my viewers have really enjoyed and learned a lot from what you have said. Your words were gems, ma'am. So, if anything else you would like to tell our viewers, some advice to the parents?
I've given my heart out.
Ah,
I've shared my heart out. I
I
think I'm
completely,
grateful, that when you give your heart out, when you're able to put in everything in your words and you're able to reach them and touch somebody, I think
yes, ma'am. Yes,
we're
ma'am.
grateful to God Almighty for that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And we appreciate that you've connected with us today and just given everything you can to the viewers. I thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.